everybody, and welcome. I am Bricker Boom, and we are going to take a look today and see if we can beat the game Pokemon Platinum with a single Rotom. Rotom is a fun Pokemon with multiple forms, but for this particular challenge, we are not going to be taking advantage of those. We are just sticking to the first form, and that's fine because it has a fun typing of Electric and Ghost. We get a decent set of moves, a decent speed, and pretty good special attack to go with our new moveset. I think that we'll be able to get through the gym leaders, though truthfully, I'm not entirely sure that we'll be able to beat Cynthia, mostly just due to the Garchomp, I believe, having pretty powerful moves. To look at the rules, we can only use Rotom in battle, and no items can be used during battle. We can use other Pokemon for HM use, though. We go ahead and replace Turtwig with Rotom, this way the rival receives Chimchar. I don't think we necessarily would have issues with any of them. The main thing is, Turtwig evolving would give it ground typing, so we couldn't hit it with electric. But as you can see, or will see, we have Levitate as an ability, so any ground attacks it would know would miss entirely. This seemed like the best bet since we do super effective damage to Empoleon, so we do end up fighting the rival, and Thundershock is doing quite well, paralyzing it the second time and taking it down. A lot of trainers here on this early route will have normal type attacking moves, so we don't have to worry too much about, well, anything. Now, the good news is we have a quiet nature, which actually raises our special attack, which is better for our particular stats anyway. Now, for me, this game is one of my all-time favorites in regards to gym design, and I love the gym leaders in general. However, the game itself, in my opinion, is just way too long. There's a reason that I typically stick to gens 1 through 3 with games, and 2 is only when I have extra time. But that's neither here nor there. With all that being said, we go through the beginning game stuff we need to, and then confront the rival once more. Starly is an easy one-shot because why wouldn't it be this early in the game? After that, due to the fact that Chimchar hasn't learned any fire moves yet, means it's an easy 3-shot, and that allows us to move on to the next city and our first gym challenge. Rourke is the first gym leader, and given the fact that he has both rock and ground types, means that our electric attacks won't do anything. We also can't even try to paralyze it. Rourke sends out Pikachu, and we use Confuse Ray. Astonish is doing astonishingly pitiful damage, but this is our life. We do confuse it, but even when it smacks itself, it's honestly not doing too much damage, so we do end up getting taken down without too much trouble on his end. So honestly, we have to level up, but I feel like this early in the game, that shouldn't really surprise anyone. At level 22, we do double team and then begin using Astonish as Geodude proceeds to not miss a single rock throw, and Rourke does end up potioning up before we take it down without the best HP. We swap over to Thunder Wave as Cranidos comes out and get hit hard with Pursuit, but guess what? Shockwave actually one-shots it. Neat. Oh, I should have said it was shocking. Anyway, we swap over to Astonish for Onix, and thankfully it doesn't do too much damage. Thanks to a flinch and a miss, we take it to Yellow, and Rourke potions up. We end up taking it back to Red, and then take it out as it thankfully continues to miss its rock throws. I have a feeling that if it hadn't missed, we probably would have had to level up more, but yeah, it's fine. We begin to move forward, and we see the Professor absolutely demolishing Team Galactic, I think, members with his words. Just like in the past, we won't be covering too many of the battles with them, just given how many there are. Also, if you like this kind of content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're plugging away slowly but surely, but hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, which I don't see that being a problem, but you never know with the algorithm and the way that it works. We can go to the Valley Windworks, and this is actually a really beautiful area. The beautiful gardens, the smell of honey in the air, and the active crime that is going out throughout the entirety of the city. We take out the grunts and then go to one of the battles that can actually be a true Nuzlocke ender. Let's take a look and see how we do with this being a solo challenge. Mars sends out Zubat, and we open up with Shockwave, our newest move to take it out in one shot. Next up is Perugly, as we get hit with Feint Attack. Forgetting Astonish won't work on it. We get hit again and take it well below half with Shockwave. This time, we end up outspeeding it, and we take it down to win the battle. Now, going through Eterna Forest, it's kind of funny that during a Nuzlocke, this is basically a given up route slash encounter, but I'm curious, how do you play? Do you just say that encounters while traveling with Cheryl don't count against you and you come back? Or if she happens to knock out your one encounter, do you play as is? I've seen people play both ways, and I needed a way to make small talk before we got to Gardenia. And with Gardenia, Turtwig is first, and we use Astonish to flinch it. We swap over to Thunderwave, and it hits us with Razor Leaf for a little damage. We use Double Team to try getting some misses, and Turtwig uses Sunny Day. Razor Leaf still connects, and we swap to Shockwave, taking it to yellow as another Razor Leaf connects before we take it down. Cherrim is next, and we use Thunder Wave as the sunlight fades before we flinch it with Astonish, and it stays paralyzed while we take it to yellow, and it stays paralyzed again as we knock it out with Shockwave. Last is Roserade, and we paralyze it as well, getting hit with Stun Spore. Astonish does a little, and then we spend the next 2 turns paralyzed, getting taken down. We do try this a handful of times, but unfortunately, we're just not able to make any kind of headway with this. Normally, we can make it to the Roserade, but we end up paralyzed almost every single time. At level 30, we've learned Ominous Wind, and that takes out the Turtwig in one shot, and we get the stat boost off of it as well. Next up is Cherub, and given the boost, we take it out in one shot. I know, because I did this battle 4 times. Last is Roserade, and we take it to red. The berry brings it out of healing range, and then we can take it out with the next hit to win the battle and let us move on. That was a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but Ominous Wind can actually be a serious game changer with the status boost. If you watched my Pokemon Heart Gold Baby run, I had a Togepi with Serene Grace and Ancient Power, and normally I would get at least 2 Ancient boosts. Normally, I would get Ancient Power boosts off of him using that, and I would absolutely be able to demolish the rest of the leaders. It isn't obviously a guarantee, especially in this case, but sometimes a little luck is what you need to win these challenges. With that gym battle out of the way, we have what feels like forever between now and Hardhome City. There isn't much we have to worry about in getting to the gym leader, and I love the design of this gym. When we challenge Fantina, she sends out Duskull, who goes down to 1 Ominous Wind, and next up is Miss Magius, and we take it to red with Ominous Wind, getting the stat boost as the berry heals it out of healing range. We get hit pretty hard with Shadow Ball before taking it down. Haunter is last up, and we, likely due to all the stat boosts, can take it out in one shot as well. After hitting a little bit of the wall that was Rorik and also Gardenia, I'm happy to have an easy battle not too long after. Now we can head to the south and get jumped by Barry again. Barry sends out Staravia, and we can open up with Shockwave to fry the bird. Next up is Weasel, and we can continue the one-hit KO train. Monferno is out, and we swap over to Ominous Wind, taking it to low red as it hits for pitiful damage with Flame Wheel before going down. Finally is Rosalia, and we do Ominous Wind, critical hitting, taking it out, and letting us continue with our adventure. Once again, we have what feels like a huge portion of the game to get through. There's Psyducks with headaches, there's a cowboy town, and there's just a lot of travel. We finally make our way to Maylene, and after battling far too long with a puzzle made for 10-year-olds, we're ready to challenge the gym leader. Metatite is first, and we knock it out with Ominous Wind, and then Machoke goes to yellow, only hitting Rock Tomb before going down. Lucario's the last one, where we're taking a bit of damage from Metal Claw, but we get the stat boost. So from there, we do get knocked down to about half, but we can take out Lucario without too much of a problem to go ahead and win the badge. With that battle done, we once more have to go through some more storyline stuff. Thankfully, it's just some grunts, and without too much trouble, we're in Pastoria, cruising right along with this challenge. We head to the gym, but we actually have a berry fight that I somehow constantly forget about. Something I should probably memorize before doing a Nuzlocke attempt in this game. If you want to see a Nuzlocke attempt in this game, let me know. Barry starts with Staravia, who goes down to a single Shockwave, and thankfully the Weasel baits the same fate. Where the crit didn't matter, I'm not sure. We swap to Ominous Wind for Rosalia and get the boost, meaning we brush off Magical Leaf before taking it down. After that, Monferno is taking it to 1 HP, only wasting a Leer before going down. In Crasher Wake's gym, I just have to say again, I love the gym designs. I don't know what it is about this particular generation, but I love the gyms so much. But hey, let's take a look at Fighting Wake and his Quagsire that may be horrifying. Gyarados is first, and, well, the 4 times weakness means that we're off to an easy start with the battle. Next up is Floatzel, and we're gonna... Oh, Mudshot takes us down to 31 HP. Not great. Thankfully, Shockwave takes it out in 1 turn. Last but not least is Quagsire. We use Ominous Wind, taking it below half as Rock Tomb takes us to 17 HP and lower speed. But we still outspeed, take it out, and win. And that was a lot more stressful than I thought it was gonna be. We chase down a hardened criminal, stumble through some fog, say hi to Cynthia's grandma, and then go to fight Cyrus for the first of just a couple times. I'm absolutely dreading the Distortion World fight, but for now, we're fine. You can see during the Sneasel part, it's a bit dicey, mostly due to Ominous Wind not doing much, but after we swap over to Shockwave, it's easy enough to take it out, along with the 2 partial flying types, winning us a pretty simple battle. We're making it through a good portion of the game by now, and I have to admit, Rotom is doing far better than I thought. I knew bits of the beginning game were going to be a bit difficult, but also easy before the gym leaders, given the fact that we have the partial ghost type. We don't have the best stats, but given the fact that our moveset is decent enough, it doesn't seem to matter. Getting the Ominous Wind boost can also help out a lot, which does actually end up happening. Our little ghost can take us all the way to Canalave City, and another battle with Barry, and in true anime fashion, it's in the middle of a bridge, and in my mind, it's in the middle of a sunset. Staraptor is up first, and we forget that Ominous Wind won't affect it, so we do nothing, and we swap over to Shockwave, thankfully not getting punished. Next up is Floatzel, and we can take it out in 1 shot as well. Heracross, one of my favorites, is next, and we use Shockwave to take it to about half, and Night Slash hits hard. We swap to Ominous Wind, getting a critical hit and knocking it out. Infernape is next, and we can take it to half, getting him with Flame Wheel and knocking it out in 1 shot. Last, we have Roserade, and we use Ominous Wind to take it to about half. And it uses Toxic Spikes not once, but twice. So goodbye, Roserade, hello, victory. The next gym I have to admit I'm a little bit nervous about, but it may be the trainers that provide us a little bit more of the challenge, given the fact that Pokemon like Steelix are not remotely affected by our electrical attacks. But let's take a look at Byron. Byron sends out Magneton, and we use Shockwave, doing a decent bit of damage and get hit with Thunderbolt. We continue with Shockwave, taking it to yellow before knocking it out. Bastiodon is next, and we can hit it pretty well with Shockwave. And Iron Defense is easy for us to get around since we're using our special, taking it to low yellow as the berry activates. Stone Edge hits hard, we can take it back to yellow, then Metal Burst knocks us out. So for the first time in a little while, we do end up having to level up. We can't hit hard enough, and even if we can make it to the Steelix, we're far too bruised and battered to be able to take it down, and our PP dwindles way too fast since Ominous Wind is the only thing that can affect it. So with that, and some leveling up, we do try again. Magneton is down to almost half with Shockwave, and it's doing far less damage to us now. It does lower our special defense, but Byron heals up, and we take it to about half, then knock it out with a crit. Bastiodon isn't going to quite half, but only uses Iron Defense. We take it to red, the berry pulls it from healing range, and then we can knock it out. Last is Steelix, and we swap to Ominous Wind, crossing our fingers. We take it to yellow, and Flash Cannon thankfully doesn't do too much, and a third Ominous Wind takes it down. We did try this before, but given the fact that Byron can heal if Steelix is brought too low, so the amount of damage we did with this battle was literally right in the sweet spot. Now we have a lot more world-ending nonsense to take care of, and we're getting into a part of the game that scares me. Not for particular trainers, but this part of the game, due to the swirling snow, crashed my game not once, but twice the first time I played through it. So we try to take it as slow as we can, steady, save frequently, all the way until we find ourselves in front of Candace and her team of snowy Pokemon. Candace first sends out Sneasel, and we use Ominous Wind, getting hit hard with Feint Attack. We swap over to Shockwave, thankfully taking it down. Next is Frostlass, and we use Ominous Wind, taking it down in 1 shot. Oh, I made the spelling mistake. Obama Snow is next, so we use Ominous Wind, taking it to just about half as Woodhammer hits us hard. We could use another Ominous Wind, taking it down, but due to the hail damage, we have 18 HP. Piloswine is last. We take it to yellow, and then get knocked out. Candace sends out Sneasel, and we use Shockwave this time, taking it to yellow, getting hit with Feint Attack before knocking it out. The Frostlass is an easy one-shot, and Abomasnow goes to not quite half. Woodhammer hits hard, but we can take it down with the final Ominous Wind. Hail takes us to 27. We use Ominous Wind, preparing for another loss, but this time we get a critical hit to take it out and win the badge. We bust into the Team Galactic headquarters like the Kool-Aid Man, say leave the legendaries that can bend reality alone because somehow you caught them, and we move on. Now, I will skip this particular Cyrus fight because between the last one and this one, I feel like the team doesn't change that much. The biggest leap of difficulty will be the Distortion World, and, for the sake of the video and my sanity is another good reason to just skip it for now. We find ourselves soon enough at the Sky Pillar trapped in double battles. Now, once again, in a Nuzlocke, this battle can very easily make or break your team, all depending on how Bear reacts. 2 Bronzors are sent out. We open with Ominous Wind, fishing a bit more, hoping to get a boost. A Light Screen and a Reflect gets put up, and we swap over to the other Bronzor. They can't deal too much damage, so we want to try to bait out as many screens turns as possible, while Barry wasted time with stockpiling. We do take Bronzor out, and get the boost as Perugly is sent out. We swap to Shockwave, taking it to red, and a turn later, the screens wear off. Let's go. Perugly is down a turn later, then Golbat is also down as Barry whittles Bronzor down till it faints. Skuntank is the last Pokemon, and we take it to red, getting taken low by Night Slash before knocking it out. Last but not least is Golbat, who goes down in one shot. Thank you for not getting in the way, Barry. I appreciate that. The Distortion World walkthrough and puzzle are starting to get a little easier for me, given the fact we've played this a few times. Let's see how our final Cyrus fight goes. Cyrus first sends out Houndoom, and we use Shockwave, taking it to half as it misses Will-O-Wisp. Weavile is next, and Night Slash immediately takes us to 2 HP, and we don't even take it to half before getting knocked out. I knew there would be a difficulty jump, I did not think it would be quite that much. At level 70, and 3 attempts in, we open with Shockwave against the Houndoom, taking it to low yellow as Dark Pulse hits hard. We can then knock it out. Now with Weavile, now we can outspeed it and take it out with a critical hit that was absolutely needed. Honchcrow's an easy one-shot. Crobat is a speedster, hitting a soft cross poison before going down to one shot, and then Gyarados is an easy end to a stressful battle. Now that we don't have to worry about the end of the world, we can finish out the last gym leaders by fighting Naruto's dad. Minato sends out Jolteon first, and we use Ominous Wind, taking it to about half as we get paralyzed. Charge Beam does a little and then goes down. Luxray is up, and we get hit hard with Crunch, but Ominous Wind does good damage as we get taken down to 37 HP. Electivire is out and takes us down to 6 HP, then takes us down. I guess that's why he's the Okage. We don't have to level up, thankfully, but it does take us some time to get past this leader. We hit Jolteon with 2 Ominous Winds, just like before, the battle is going the same. With Luxray, we get hit with Crunch and hit it with Ominous Wind, but we get the boost this time, and then finally take it down. Electivire is next, and thanks to the boost, we take little from Fire Punch, then knock it out in one shot. Last is Raichu, and it uses Signal Beam, but we can take it out. We just needed the luck to line up. And that's that. We've won the challenge. Or not, because we still have a final Berry fight, an Elite Four, and the childhood crush of every Pokemon player. Berry starts with Staravia, and given our level, it goes down in one shot, and we get a level up. Then we take out Floatzel. Roserade goes to about half, misses Grass Whistle, then goes down. Infernape is an easy one-shot, and my boy Heracross goes to red, hitting a decent Night Slash before going down. Last up is Snorlax, and we take it below half, getting hit hard with Crunch before taking it down. Had we not two-shotted Snorlax, that would have actually been a restart. Good job, Barry. Now get out of the way, we have a challenge to finish. We show off our dull badges, because I never bother shining them, to the guard by the door, and then go to fight the first of the Elite Four, Aaron. Bug Pokemon shouldn't be too difficult, but let's see what happens. Yanmega goes down to a Thunderbolt, and next up is Caesar, who also goes down in one shot. Thunderbolt then gets a critical hit on Heracross to take it out. Maybe Vespiquen will... Oh, nope, one shot. Okay, surely Drapion will survive, or not. One battle down. Bertha is one that I feel both confident against and somewhat dread as well. She has strong earth moves, which can't touch us, but she has other hard-hitting moves that definitely do affect us, and her mons can be quite tanky. Bertha sends out Whiscash first, so we use Ominous Wind to take it to about half as it whips up a Sandstorm. The next Ominous Wind ends up taking it down. Hippowdon is next, so we continue with Ominous Wind, taking it to about half as Crunch hits us really, really hard. Then the next attack takes it down. Rhyperior is next, and Ominous Wind takes it to almost half as it fires back with Mega Horn. We can land another Ominous Wind, and the berry takes it out of healing range, but then we go down. Now, unfortunately, we do have to level up a bit more because we get brick-walled easily. At level 85, we can take Whiscash down to yellow with Ominous Wind, using it 3 times and getting a boost off of it. Hippowdon is next, it goes down to Ominous Wind, and we get another boost. Rhyperior is out, and we continue with Ominous Wind, taking it out, followed by Golem, and then Gliscor as well. It was a simple battle, though I'm curious to see how difficult it would be at that level if we hadn't got back-to-back Ominous Wind boosts. Next up, we have Flint, and let's see what happens with this battle, especially with our level ups. Thunderbolt takes Houndoom down in one shot, and Flareon we swap over to Ominous Wind, taking it to under half as Overheat hits us a lot harder than I thought before we take it down. Rapidash is a simple one-shot, not much of a surprise. After that, it's Infernape, who we can one-shot with a single Thunderbolt. Last but not least is Magmortar, and it goes to yellow with Thunderbolt, but all it does is begin storing up energy for a Solar Beam, which is fine, because we naturally outspeed it, and then take it down. Last of the Elite Four is Lucian, and, well, this one is probably the easiest for us, given the fact that we have Ominous Wind. Well, that and the fact that we had to level up. We tear through a good portion of the team with one-shots, and the Bronzong who lives and could have attacked just uses Calm Mind. After that, Rotom basically has a taste for blood and continues to mow down his team, only taking one shot from Gallade before it also goes down. The Elite Four is now defeated, and there's only one fight left, and this one can be a doozy. Cynthia starts with Spiritomb, and we start with Ominous Wind, not even taking it to red, as we get hit hard in return before we take it out. Lucario is up, and we swap to Thunderbolt, taking it to what I have to imagine is 1 HP, before Shadow Ball wrecks our health and Cynthia heals up. We push past that and land another Thunderbolt, then take it out. Garchomp is the scariest of them all, and hits us with Flamethrower, ending our first attempt. You can kind of see here through the footage that we did try this battle multiple times. We can typically make it to the Garchomp without any type of issues, but it's the fact that we take damage from the Lucario first that I don't think the Garchomp has too much issues taking us out. So, at level 90, we still don't take out Spiritomb in one shot, but we do tank its Dark Pulse a little bit better before we take it down. Now, though, Lucario goes down, and then Garchomp actually misses, which lets us get a critical hit to take it down. Milotic goes down to a single Thunderbolt, and then with Togekiss, we can take it out as well. Roserade is the final Pokemon and goes below half, hits a pretty decent energy ball before going down to win the battle and the run. I'm curious because we tried this battle a few dozen times and Garchomp didn't miss, if we could have beaten it at a lower level, but seeing how much Energy Ball did at the higher level, I'm not 100% sure. I don't do Pokemon Calcs like other people do because that's a lot of math that I'm just not willing to try. Either way, though, I hope you enjoyed the run. I've been working on my script writing a little bit and really enjoyed getting to come back to this game. We'll probably be popping back to Pokemon Fire Red next week, but if you missed it, last week, I did a Swampert run in Pokemon Emerald, which was a lot of fun, and have actually been getting to upload a bunch of different content, including reacting to The Legend of Korra, the podcast, and a few other things here and there. Work hasn't necessarily slowed down, but I am finding a better groove, and by that I mean not streaming as frequently. But I hope you liked the video, and as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.